this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And once you're done, leave a comment saying that I subscribed, and you will be replied to. We'll be doing as many as we can. WWE's fake referees are glass canyons. It's all scripted. Hulk Hogan, Chris Benoit. Look, I'm not going to give you the typical bullshit you already know who copy-paste list. My goal is to try and get some new nitty-gritty, new shit, maybe a little bit more specific. We're doing new stuff, alright? New secrets. I'm D-Wicket. These are 10 secrets WWE is hidden from its fans. You might not have known it. You might have known it. Who cares? Number 10, Chris Jericho isn't from Winnipeg. You idiot. Most wrestlers get their real names switched for a newfound identity, but at least most of the time, those new names still get to keep residency in their old homes, as in the birthplace locations don't get changed. Sometimes, though, you get Kamala, who was a Mississippi native hailed from Uganda. Chris Jericho is infamously Canadian as fuck, being used in gimmicks and storylines all throughout his career, even up until his Canadian partnership with Kevin Owens. Once during a match, Y2J even yelled at a stupid idiot fan who told him to go back to Toronto with, "I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot." Unfortunately, he's a bit of an idiot, as both of them were wrong. He was born in Manhasset, New York.
So it was in your hometown.
I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot.
Go back to Toronto. I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot.
Number 9, Hulk Hogan wasn't the first to slam Andre. Oh, why is WWE a dream killer? In celebration of 30 years passing since the slam heard around the world, let's fill everyone in on the fact that it was not even close to the first time Andre the Giant had been body slammed. Numerous other wrestlers had been slamming the Giant for years prior to WrestleMania 3, Harley Race actually being the first to do so. I think like 10 years before the infamous wrestling history event of infamy. Hell, even Hulk Hogan had picked up the Giant prior to the Silverdome. Just why do they lie to us?
And the Hulkster unloading, going for a slam. Oh, he almost got him up. Oh, he collapsed. 1 to life lead in the world today. Look at this. He slammed it forward.
Number 8, the WWE Championship's technical lineage. This one's a slight bit sketchy, iffy, questionable bullshit. But do you come for this channel for cold-cut, boring facts or fun shit and my charisma steaming from the pores? Oh, fucking right you do. Plus, this one's fun if you haven't heard of it before. So far as of Jinder Mahal and a lot of disappointed fans that come with Jinder Mahal, the WWE title has seen 50 different owners, but technically, it's actually seen at least 51. The Championship Scramble match is a strange concept, where it's basically a gauntlet match without eliminations, and whoever scores the last pinfall by the time the match is over is the WWE champion. But technically, if you score a pinfall and the match is still going on, you are at that time the current WWE champion. So this led some interesting situations and an interesting handful of seconds where the Brian Kendrick, Spanky himself, who had just scored a pinfall, was technically your WWE champion. I mean, he wasn't the champion. He never got the belt. But that little official WWE title bar that comes up, something big happens. It read WWE champion Brian Kendrick, so go eat yourself. Number 7, choreographed hot tagging. How is something as simple as the touching of two people's hands actually choreographed? Well, WWE. This is legit too. Pay attention next time you're watching a tag team match. Whenever a hot tag is coming, teams have been specially trained to always do it the same stupid way. I don't It's dumb. If you're the one tagging into the match, your palm is always facing upwards. If you're the one trying to tag out, your palm will always be facing downwards. For some reason, it always happens every single time. It's kind of counteractive too. I mean, it's a hot tag, so it's probably the babyface, right? And they're probably getting the shit kicked out of them against the heels, and so they're probably on the ground crawling towards the other face who's trying to tag in. So if you're crawling and you're down all the way on the ground, why would you have your hand go up over their arm? It doesn't make sense. It's stupid and I don't like it. But at least tag team wrestling is fun again. NXT. Number 6, commentators are bullshit. You may have subconsciously picked up on this before, and if so, well done, as it feels unnatural as hell. For some reason, if a wrestler hits a huge move, usually their finisher, and they're going for a pinfall, commentators, most notably JBL for some reason, he loves to do this, they will yell out, "There's no way the opponent can get up from that. No one ever kicks out of that move. He's out for good." And then immediately they will always kick out, leaving the commentator looking stupid and telling the audience, "Oh, I can't believe that the 7,186th person has kicked out of the attitude adjustment. I just can't believe it. How did they manage to kick out of the easiest move to kick out of?" Number 5, John Cena doesn't give up. But he's given up before. A few times, in fact. Okay, so this is one of those things that's on a bunch of different lists. We all know that John Cena has tapped out in the past, okay? He had tapped out to both Kurt Angle twice and Chris Benoit on SmackDown. That's funny. But hey, little something extra for you. His catchphrase is never give up, not never tap out. And goddamn it, he's done both. More than once. Ever heard of the last man standing match stipulation? Sure you have. John Boy's fought in a bunch of them. Usually they're pretty good. That one against Bray Wyatt. Sometimes they end with duct tape, like the one against Batista. Oh, the internet didn't like that. But big match, John Cena has lost 2 last man standing matches. At least 2 of them, maybe more. Sure, the ending of the match against Alberto Del Rio at Vengeance 2011 was not clean, but technically, John Cena didn't get back up to his feet, which means he gave up. At least his body gave up. He also lost to Edge at Backlash 2009 with the same stipulation, and sure, there was some big show interference and a choke slam into a light that caused a fake explosion that definitely no human man should have been able to get up from, but it would not have been the first time John Cena did something impossible. So, he kinda gave up. He also lost a first blood match against Kurt Angle once, so his skin gave up on him. Number 4, Steve Austin hated the hard camera. WWE promos look very simple nowadays, and you may notice a similar pattern of just a guy standing and looking at a camera, especially using the hard camera. If you go back and you watch a few of his promos, you will notice very quickly that Steve Austin ain't about that shit, boy. Thinking the idea of a hard focal camera wasn't smart business-wise, Stone Cold deliberately did all that he could to get the cameraman moving on their asses and the hard camera off of him, and it definitely worked. And it did make him stand out a little bit, which obviously Stone Cold needed more standing out, you know. The guy Stone Cold Stunnering Vince McMahon. Number 3, the streak's flaws, aside from, you know, the fact that it was ended, either period or by Brock Lesnar. Either of those is just as disappointing as the other. WWE has built the streak up as something of a novelty, and let's give it credit. Let's give it a lot of fucking credit. It's incredible. It's something that's never gonna be replicated. WWE has built it up as an almost perfect consecutive streak of The Undertaker soundly putting away legend after legend. Well, that sentence is wrong in 3 different ways. The streak, first off, isn't consecutive. It doesn't go every single year in a row. Multiple years were skipped, either due to injury or just not being on the card for some reason. And sure, this doesn't take too much away from it, but a streak feels cooler if it's all in a row, you know? It feels better. I don't know, this one's a bit dumb. The other 2 are much more reasonable. He did not always soundly defeat his opponents, as you may have forgotten. Giant Gonzalez physically fucked The Undertaker in their WrestleMania matchup at WrestleMania 9. Undertaker won by DQ thanks to some chloroform. That is bullshit. And as you can tell by that last note, you know, Giant Gonzalez, the streak was not always a bunch of legends. For every Randy Orton, Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels, the streak also saw Undertaker put down a Big Boss Man, a Mark Henry, and A-Train. Also, only around a half the streak matches were genuinely great matches, despite Undertaker being a damn good worker. So it is impressive and amazing, but it's definitely not 100% what it's hyped up to be. Number 2, Money in the Bank Origins. If there's 2 things that always seem strange when mixed with the WWE, it's the use of jail and the use of money. I'm sure I'll eventually shit talk WWE's weird usage of the cops another day, but let's get into the money aspect, because when money's brought up, it's basically always in the main event, right? So these are people who are already making insane amounts of money, so it already is weird, but it's used so sparingly that it feels completely out of place, like just random bounties being put on Goldberg. Like, it's weird. Money worked so well in Lucha Underground, for example, because it was established in the very first episode by the scummy Dario Cuerdo. I can't think of a good word for it. And it was before any championships were introduced, so the big thing that they were fighting for, very first episode, was the $100,000. It made sense, and it felt like it worked, and that's why it's really strange to hear that the original plans for the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania was to actually call it the Hollywood Cash-In, and whoever won would cash in $100,000 whenever they wanted. Good prize, but what? And number 1, John Cena's firing. Obviously, when the Nexus got John Cena fired back in 2010, it was kayfabe, and yes, his time quote-unquote out of the company was criminally short, just lasting a week. That's the space between literally 2 Monday Night Raws, in case you were having trouble on the week. But at least during that time, he wouldn't be competing, right? At least outside kayfabe and with the realm of reason, WWE would be able to keep John Cena off the card for like 7 days, right? Well, you see this picture on the screen. That was taken at the Soul House show WWE had John booked for in that week's time. And that masked man wrestling went by the name Juan Cena. I will let you fill in the dreadful, agonizing